to now get into these fights with here for Echo Fox.
What a nice flex pick at the very end right there. So CLG bans out the two hard engaged supports that they know.
Bombs and get a good trade back in damage, so we'll have to see how they coordinate that towards the mid lane as we start off with a quick pause.
What CLG is doing is they're showing a wide variety of strategies, which I think as they move towards the playoffs is going to make it very difficult for a team to even say, oh, this is how you target CLG in a best of 5. And the fact that CLG is doing this while still going on a win streak could make them very formidable in the playoffs.
It's difficult when you realize the breadth of style that they might have, how big that is, and what variety they can continuously add to the game. Summoner's Rift, it's always the same map, chap. You just gotta play it. You gotta play it differently. Big power in numbers as they move down towards the dry brush. Get a little vision control for themselves. 1 CS over to Fenix. That's going to be big. Exhaust for him in the mid lane. So he does expect to get ganked pretty hard here. It's going to be difficult to get away from a Corki and a Jarvan, or at least some of the damage they'll bring per gank.
Yeah, I think Lucian is a bit of a classic counterpick to the Corki. Basically, if Corki ever throws out Phosphorus Bomb, Lucian will E forward and take an aggressive trade, and you will generally win it.
Absolutely.
But it's been a while since we've seen the Lucian in the mid lane. Champions are slightly different shapes now. I believe Lucian isn't quite as strong as when he was considered a Corki counterpick just by the raw numbers.
I thought you meant he was a different shape. It's like, that's interesting. That hit, That's hitboxes. So tricky.
Yeah.
Red buff's over. And we begin. Yeah, we actually saw, no, I can't remember, but the Void Staff being purchased up on Corki just a few games ago. The build paths we're seeing come up here.
Crown was up against a pretty hefty front line, so he opted for Void Staff. It's a good time to remind that Corki is mostly magic damage, so you don't have to be concerned if you're CLG about having too much physical damage, even though you're seeing a double marksman with a Camille team and a Jarvan. The fact that Corki brings that different damage type, even though he is a sustained damage marksman type champion, really is one of the things that actually allows him to slot into that mid lane position. So he's
looks the same, feels different in damage, if you will.
Yeah.
2.5 minutes before we get our first Drake fight, if they even go for it right away. Mountain Drake usually doesn't draw too much attention. So there's that Ocean. Ruin starts to push up Lourlo, but he's just in front of his turret, so pretty nice place to farm for him as he keeps himself safe and piling all of this CS. And there's probably one of the dashes and Phos Bombs we just saw dodged out by Fenix. Another piercing light to add in. Looks for that light slinger passive, but he can't add it up.
Yeah, pretty tricky for PowerOfEvil to successfully trade back against Fenix. It's going to be on Wiggily to try and get a good gank off, but because Fenix had that wave priority, he wards over on the Raptor Pit. PowerOfEvil saw it. Wiggily uses a sweeper, so just good communication all around.
I wonder how close MikeYeung gets for that as we see a bit of an aggression topside. Mike says, I'll use that info to get this scuttle as it comes up for me. He's just under Wiggily. Wiggily will head back towards topside, figuring that's the case as well. And his scuttle has just been pinged. Easy movement for everybody here to start things off. No early level 2s. There's like MikeYeung, as we said, does have that confidence coming out of last game, knowing he has had those improvements week over week. He wants to keep that in the same light.
Yeah, Echo Fox had been by far the worst team at achieving First Blood. Prior to yesterday, they had only had it in 1 game the entire split. Now it's up to 2, but look out! Oh, and he didn't even get turret aggro.
Standard stop. You're right, he didn't. This is going to be a pretty quick one. If Ruin can get himself to safety, one last shot. It's not going to be enough on the heat up, and that's First Blood going over to Wiggily.
Well, 2 out of 16 First Bloods for Echo Fox, but CLG again with a smart move up there. Mike trying to come up and counter, but he is all alone.
Perfect communication.
Teleport.
Camille hook shot to him. That's going to be a quick kill. We've got to watch out for the spiders. That's a good repel up.
Flash.
Now they've got Lourlo back. If he can find his pace to get a sweet spot on, they definitely got a kill onto Ruin. Tactical sweep back.
Nice flash.
Ruin actually stopped himself there. Maybe the flash would have brought him in range, but the tactical sweep keeps him in range for that follow-up kill coming in from Echo Fox.
And that was a confidence play right there. You may have considered that an overreach in past iterations, but watching this, very good Demacian standard to interrupt the recall from Lourlo. and then it was just about whether or not Lourlo was going to successfully flash the Camille hookshot. He doesn't, so he dies. Here, Wiggily just waits for MikeYeung, but specifically Mike is waiting for the teleport to come in, saying, I know the Camille is low, but it is time for a return gank.
We're back to live, and he's going to be back to dead almost. Lourlo keeps himself up at 200 HP. MikeYeung is on the top side. It's not going to hurt too much. He still has Krugs to clear. But holy moly, are they not stopping, especially mid lane. Another back and forth between Fenix and PowerOfEvil.
Those ganks are the tilters for a top laner. After you use your teleport to get back to wave, to lane, and you get chunked low again. However, Mike also doing Lourlo a solid, knowing that if Lourlo didn't have jungle backup, he would have basically been frozen off that entire wave. So the fact that they can push it out allows it to crash. It also allows him to get a few healing sustained shots back up, but he does still decide to recall because he was about 60% out.
You don't see that quite a bit. Usually the wave can be trimmed up and pruned before anything happens, but you see just how drastic these lanes are being shifted back and forth, and the CS definitely needs to be cleaned up this early in the early levels. Back to this bot lane, the Pyke and Morgana, 42 and 8, so pretty good on the CS as they're trading somewhat with that relic, as Apollo is keeping good CS himself.
Yeah, a Morgana who maxes W is a perfectly viable bottom laner. You get about a bit of CS assist with your W since the Morgana visual rework that happened several months ago. And you're building AP as well. The Doran's Ring is a last hit assist ability, so I don't expect Apollo to actually fall behind in this lane. Fenix, though.
Yeah, it's becoming tough. I mean, knowing the Corki doesn't have anything offensive other than a flash, and you're really not going to do that unless you have a gank. Exhaust means you can go all in for these fights quite a bit, and Fenix is feeling nice about it every time. Almost under the turret on that one. We see what could have been a push here onto Fenix. Looks like Ruin was going to come down as he pushed his lane.
Yeah, it'll be about how far ahead can he actually get from the Corki, because Corki will outscale the Lucian, even if Lucian is stronger in the laning phase. I'm interested in this bottom lane as well. This is probably, even though it's not that standard, the standard if you are going to play Morg bot in pro. But I do wonder if this would be an opportunity to play the double support items before. I saw some Relic Shield Pikes who would go with the Spell Thief's Spell User, right? And you could play it just the same way you do Sonatom or Sonateric and get the double gold generation, since your champions could technically work with it. And I don't think Morgana necessarily needs the early CS to be successful, but they do opt for the simpler version where you just give all the CS to one person rather than try and share. And so far, the lane is pretty even.
You remember the old videos of Morgana when she had
Look out!
Oh! Remember this gank? It looks like it's going to stick, and it is Hakuho going down. A little too far forward there, thinking MikeYeung gave him the upper hand, but CLG was ready.
Woo! Wiggily and Biofrost read that gank perfectly. I think they saw Mike and Hakuho wrap around through this control ward right in the... It's gone now, but it was right here. It was a control ward in the lane brush, and that's where they saw him.
Kind of all about that consideration of how long it will be until something happens. If you know, you know.
That ward.
Boom. Efficient. Which you can check, like, kind of return on investment that a ward is giving you. You can check the time.
Yeah.
Then it joins, like, the League of League of Legendary Wards. Hard to say. If you check its little status symbol. Ooh, MikeYeung. Oh, comes out a bit early there. They alert Ruin. He's going to hook shot. Follow with Repel. Still got a minute and 20 seconds before Shelly even shows up, so not too much of a party in here just yet. Oh, good stop. That was actually the Relentless Pursuit stop for Fenix as he tries to get in range. Ruin's still alive in this fight right now as he takes down MikeYeung, and Lourlo's left out to dry. Hook shot over the wall, and a double kill for Ruin as he ruins the plans of Echo Fox.
That's going to be a tough one to come back from. MikeYeung opts into that fight. Ruin was completely fine just saying, okay, Elise is here. Later. Mike says, you know what, I have red buff, I'm going for this. But the lanes weren't able to be there. And again, Wiggily supports the play. He actually waits, they pick off Fenix. Ruin, by the way, completely fine in that 1v2, also able to dodge out of Lourlo's Aatrox Qs. And then once the river fight had been won, it ends up being a 3-for-0 river skirmish.
Really sweetly played there by Ruin. I'm pretty sure his tactical sweep, first one came up, was able to block quite a bit of damage coming from MikeYeung. So that volatile spider, not too helpful there. He's able to stay alive. His teleport's coming back up soon. They're kind of timed with Lourlo's. We could see their action around the map, but you see 1,001K gold lead over there for Ruin alone on his lane right now, and he's going to start putting that pressure onto the Aatrox.
Yeah, they got the first blood off of that gank. They did the return gank to kind of mess up Lourlo's recall timing, and now it's just a red buff Camille. Also want to call out the smart purchase of the Executioner's Calling. That is a required purchase against Aatrox now, especially with how much amping has been done to his healing.
I think they have signs up in the fountain now that say you need this if they have Aatrox.
Yeah,
like
don't forget your pink wards, and also buy an Executioner's Calling against Aatrox.
That's right. Pink wards even do more against the Collie now if she's in game. Everything's getting a little more efficient. Shots onto the Mountain Drake. Nice job by CLG to keep picking up the objectives throughout their games. Usually they have a bit of early game control, and here against EchoFox they have found a way to route the system of defense that EchoFox has in these first few levels. Looks like everybody is 6 across the board. We may get some bigger skirmishes here, but it seems like Lourlo's going to have to fend for himself after a tough lane, and MikeYeung is going to have to find another opening. Good dodge by Fenix. He just kind of walks out of that.
Yeah, fancy feat right there. Doesn't even have to use his Relentless Pursuit to dodge Wiggily. Didn't get to see the very start of that. I'd actually imagine that Fenix had probably used it in a trading pattern. Otherwise, Wiggily would have never even attempted that gank. Yep. So probably made that sidestep pretty important for Fenix.
Silly spider.
Caitlyn! Good tank by Pyke.
I like it.
Most
Dodge
of it with
heal.
great health.
A proto belt, or GLP rather, onto Apollo. He can get himself into the fight, slow people, and get a lockdown on that Soul Shackle. Hit confirmed. There's the tidal wave going out. Biofrost goes into the stopwatch. Looks like he's going to come down for MikeYeung, and Lourlo onto the back line. One more sweet spot gets Biofrost. And now he's facing 3 members. They have to be able to pincer CLG here. The turnaround is from Wiggily, but the team can't follow as Ruin stuck in the Infernal Chains, and now they both reconsider the fight as the TP comes to the bot lane from PowerOfEvil.
Well, Ruin wants to keep going.
There's the challenge, and it's going to be onto Apollo. Can't do much to block that with a black shield. You're still going to be in the ring for the fight, and Ruin picks up his 3rd kill of the game. 4th kill, sorry.
Yeah, Wiggily and Ruin both having very good games here. Specifically there, the continuation of the fight. When it seemed like EchoFox actually had more people at the party, still able to chase down and pick up kills. The fact that Ruin is 4-1 before he even hit his Trinity Force is crazy.
Gross.
Watching
say
this
dirty.
one more time, not clean specifically. Right here, the GLP does buy a little bit of time for Apollo to retreat, but MikeYeung gets caught in the bad position. And here, EchoFox just has a hard time kind of reconverging for where they would want to, and Wiggily buys a ton of time by EQing. But then Ruin just going all in for Apollo. If EchoFox had just stayed together while running away, they'd have 4 people. 2 people on COD never would have been able to go.
Ooh,
here they fight
you
again.
gotta stay together when you're in Cataclysm, chat. Fenix able to Relentless Pursuit out of that as Wiggily gets himself to safety. It's now been a trade. No, just MikeYeung going down for now. That's gonna be the root, and that's bad for Stixxay as the trade does finally come through. A little bit of gold there for Apollo as Hakuho looks for maybe another member.
Yeah, Ruin wasn't there. So that was a 4v5 taken by CLG, but they did not get the Rift Herald. And EchoFox is going to try and get something back here because they finally generate a bit of a positive play.
Firing themselves in and cashing in. Very nicely done. Mid lane getting pushed in. Bot lane, as we said, Ruin is giving a little work to that wave, and we'll see if he can get them into good position for Fox to retaliate. This should continue. Obviously, we see not much that is Wiggily in view on your screen as he channels back to base. They get first, but they do get top, so they're able to at least trade pace and turrets to keep lanes a bit the same. The movement is to CLG, though. Where do they go next to add this power?
Yeah, just track Wiggily as much as we can, and also just wait for Ruin to get his Trinity Force, and we'll start playing around him. Watching this one more time, EchoFox moves towards the Rift Herald, and actually watch the Aatrox on the minimap trying to come up right there. As they do get the Rift Herald, though, they see MikeYeung out of position, they get the kill, and then probably just needed to run away. Unable to against the persistent slows of the Glacial Augment Morgana, and Stixxay ends up losing in a 1-for-1. Not the worst for CLG because they were getting the turret off.
I actually thought you were trolling, but it is Glacial Augment Morgana.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense. I just thought you were...
Spooky Ghost came out.
I thought you were TFT trolling.
Gave the nice little hit.
I like it. Yeah, we actually don't see Spooky Ghost enough. I love that item so much, especially when you're just trying to create opportunities. I think it's that kind of the best words for that item is you're allowed to create so many opportunities from its use.
Yeah, even though it is called Twin Shadows in the item shop, if you type in Spooky Ghost, it'll show up. Because you can tag the stuff with whatever you want. If people call it Spooky Ghost, it's going to be called Spooky Ghosts.
There's still tons of damage I think works for Triforce.
Probably.
Yeah.
Don't know why we'd ever remove that.
Don't know why ever. From the depths. Try to get a hook on. Almost. No hit on. It doesn't look like there would be too much aggression on that anyways. Just a bit of back and forth. MikeYeung a little ahead of himself here as he activates a fight. He may not want to continue. A nice binding keeps him alive, and now everything is trailing just on the heels of Echo Fox for this fight as their HP goes away.
Yeah, Infernal Drake, quite important right now. CLG have been very good at playing around objectives all year. Had that jazz stat at the start of the day.
Yep.
Most Drake kills in the LCS, the split is CLG at 42. This would be their 44th if they finish this one because they picked up the Mountain Drake earlier. They got mid priority, they rotated down, did it just perfect.
44 Drakes. That's a lot.
In 15 games.
You know what the most of those Drakes is? I'm asking. I don't have that answer.
I don't.
That kind of sound like a freak. Did you
Probably
know?
Ocean Drake, because PowerOfEvil has a meme about always getting Ocean Drake in mid lane.
I like it. Okay.
To win. Obviously, didn't get it this game. It's a Mountain Infernal game, so he'll take it, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we get another Infernal after this as well. Heating things up as CLG, like we mentioned before, with TL not locking in first, C9 still keeping at the top. They want to keep themselves in the fight as well, seeing that it could be much more to this in the playoff season than just kind of being here since, what, 2017? They really make an impact once they enter back in.
I found your answer.
Oh, what is it?
Cloud Drakes.
Cloud Drakes?
Yeah.
CLG got to go fast. The Rotatos, that's what they're known for.
So, it's obviously Drake spawns are randomized, but teams that take a lot of Drakes, like teams that generally have really high Drake control, oftentimes Cloud Drake will be their most took Drake because other teams that aren't necessarily as good at Drake will deprioritize the Cloud Drakes.
The undesirable
and they'll go all in for an early Ocean, or they'll go all in for an Infernal. So those are the more contested Drakes. But then teams that just generally value objectives end up just taking more Clouds. So I could be making a lot out of something that is actually just random, but I've seen it before. Like SKT used to always have more Cloud Drakes than other teams.
Yeah, just more focused on that objective. The other team doesn't have it in their strategy. You're probably not going to push for it when you're even or behind. Here, Ruin a bit behind in numbers. Hook shot to safety. All he's doing is buying time as he goes right back in, laterals himself into the play. And he will stay. Just about a 5,000 gold lead right now coming into the hands of CLG. Just under, but they are working it quite well across the map. Mid-turret's the last one to stand as Apollo steps forward. Sees what the Dark Binding Fish can find.
Yeah, and I think at this point, CLG has done well to gain themselves the early advantages. They did pick the Nami for lane dominant bot lane. Didn't necessarily dominate that hard, but they also got thrown a curveball on Champ Select. Yeah. The specific thing they did was camp top lane really successfully and well. They've gotten 2 early Drakes, and now the question will be kind of as they move towards playoffs, how cleanly can they finish this game as Apollo burns Flash, doesn't get anything. It's a small win for CLG. Yep,
that's GLP and Twin Shadows down for Apollo. As he flash forward to get that engaged down. Looks like Lourlo was trying to go in and out. Lourlo was the focus being slotted in here for solo towards the end of the season. Why not disrupt that member who hasn't been playing with the rest of the team? Again, pressure now over to the side. It's very split for CLG. They need to escape this situation unless Wiggily and Ruin can go on a huge 3v2 situation. Absolutely obliterated as Lourlo thinking he can take a fight with the team on his back. Hook shot back over the wall, and Ruin is just dancing around Echo Fox.
That was 2v4.
Yes.
And I would seldom say that Wiggily even really helped. Yeah, I think he gave
the standard.
I think he gave Ruin some attack speed.
Yep.
Everything else was Ruin. That was insanely good as he picks up another kill while literally the rest of his team was just freely killing a turret. Cannot wait to see that one again.
the pace he has in this game, absolutely gross. Standing on the front line for his team. It looks like they almost going for the fight once again. Tidal Wave sweeps Echo Fox back just a bit. Wiggily goes in. Cataclysm is there. If he wants it, he almost has to use it. But he holds the ultimate before he goes down. Echo Fox looking like they could fight back a bit. But Lourlo is just too far away. And CLG is good at kiting this one out.
Wiggily ends up kind of paying the cost for Ruin's missed E. Wiggily then went back into zone. All right, we're going to watch this one more time. So everyone collapses on Ruin.
He's 2 levels up, by the way.
He somehow avoids all CC just to get to the wall to the first hook shot, but then actually has the Q2 come up enough to just true damage Lourlo. Lourlo probably thought he was doing something clever, like let's take him over the wall after. Anyway, yeah, that's got to feel good.
Hey guys, this game is fun. Are you guys having fun too?
Look at this. Trinity Force, Ravenous Hydra, healing reduction against just the Black Cleaver on Lourlo's Aatrox. Yo. It's a lot of items.
10, can we get a switch on that gold? Because that is wild. 10,700 to 6,200 gold in the top side. A 4,000 gold lead coming out of that one lane, and 7,000 overall on the map. 6,000 as it ticks up, but that is absurd for Ruin to be doing this with just a bit of help from the team and then continuing.
Okay, so minor misstep when Wiggily went down. Infernal Drake is coming up in 5 seconds. CLG will control that. Basically, the quest here for CLG is to try and end this game clean. The last time they played Echo Fox, while they did win, it was a little sloppy towards the end.
And Echo Fox almost took it.
Yeah, Echo Fox almost was able to come back. But right now, CLG is in full control. And if they want to make this push towards securing a playoff bye, which this would give them their 11th win of the season, put them in great position to do so, and then paying it even forward, because we know CLG's aspirations are quite high. It's about getting control of this game, getting the Baron down fairly quickly, and ending this one before 30 minutes.
It has to. The last one was 43. So that you can tell why there were so many fights and chances for it to go back and forth. Time will tell you that. 3 Drakes on the side of CLG. Do they have enough to put that pressure on? A very hidden Ruin in the bot lane is looking to strike onto Lourlo once again, and it does not look like it's going to be a very fun fight. What do you say to the God of Death? And Lourlo says, I guess today. Ruin's doing a very good job on that bot lane. 10-4 now for CLG, as it looks like they control a fighter on the map. If they aren't just going to push, Ruin's coming over from the side to have a little bit more fun to play with his food. Locked up right away. A nice stun that they got onto him very quick with Hakuho, as they do lose the young MikeYeung to the hands of Stixxay.
That's exactly what they needed. Solo kill in the side lane, kill the jungler. Now they have a 5v3. They can clear out vision and try to set up this Baron however they want.
Absolutely gross the way CLG's moving around the map right now. Nice cupcake trap set up so nobody can walk through. If you have the Morgana Black Shield, it's going to be tough. The Black Shield hits there. Wiggily does not have Cataclysm, but they may have the follow-up damage. Ruin going crazy, draws out the Soul Shackles, and he's going to stay alive in this situation too.
Oh man, very close. COD continues though.
Try to get the stun from Hakuho onto PowerOfEvil, but he gets himself to safety as they all have a bit of shields and heals for themselves to throw around with the help of that Nami's Airy flexing back and forth. You can see it on Stixxay right now for a bit of sustain, and great job by everyone at CLG to continuously tempt Echo Fox to these fights.
Yeah, watching this solo kill one more time. When there's an item and a half and a 2-level advantage, Lourlo's just trying to get whatever little bits of experience he can. But without vision control, he's just kind of asking to die against the Camille here. That sets up the flank where they're able to get MikeYeung low, and then Fenix doesn't take the shot for MikeYeung. Unfortunately, he was thinking about positioning his calling a little bit more than about taking that damage. Unlucky for MikeYeung.
Haven't you ever seen what happens in the movies if somebody shoots a bullet into your gun, Jat?
Yeah, I mean,
it blows up. You can't do that.
Lucian is hardwired to dodge and dash around. It's hard to change that mindset, apparently.
It's true. Very true. Ooh, the Baron damage. A few spits onto PowerOfEvil with that toxic fluid. And now a little bit of a reset. Some bounty, 700 to be exact, onto Ruin for that bounty. It is a reset, but this is the point where Echo Fox is going to have to get a few of those in their favor. They can't just come back on one fight at this point, but CLG could put the nail in the coffin with one of those of their own. Looking at an 8K gold lead as they step to the front base here. Not really playing the split push too much, so it looks like they're buying their time to get a few of the waves up there as well.
Yeah, they do need to get full vision control in their jungler. There's still a control ward sitting, if you look really closely, right there. That kind of lets Echo Fox know that no one is doing Baron and allows them to position up towards the top side and defend. But CLG, since they do outscale, don't need to rush.
Spooky Ghost. I actually like the fact that Wiggily was last there. He can flag and drag after it hits. He also expends a Spooky Ghost. So quite tactically played to receive the slow.
Yeah, and no one can even come close to matching Ruin. They sent 4 earlier and they lost 1, so maybe you send 5 and you might get them, but then you're going to lose Baron.
It's going to be tough. Let's see. Considering Baron as well, decent wave clear if you have Lucian in that lane. If you start getting split, you're not going to have anybody on the side of Echo Fox that can clear Baron, so that'll be real big if CLG can grab it to push right through the front. Oh, they're trying to get vision down. They're trying to get a little bit of something. Fights on both fronts, and it's going to be ruined now. He took down the turret, so it's a 2v1. He looks like he's going to get good kills in, but it's not going to be enough to take down Lourlo, though that healing is just too huge. It is the flash forward, but it is the distraction that they took over to the other side of the map for a double kill for PowerOfEvil to come in.
They got him, though. They got the money, Riv. Small victories. The rest of the map, not so fortunate. When Echo Fox sent 2 to kill Ruin, not only does he get 1 back, the rest of CLG kills Hakuho and the Smite. So very critical that they go in here. Apollo could try something. He should at least puddle, because there's a chance it would get something. But Wiggily gets the Smite.
I like the closeness. It was close enough. CLG with a lot of confidence during this game are taking any fight they can. Here's this one again.
Yeah, I think that's a big mistake by Echo Fox to be in that position. They know they're sending 2 people for the split pusher, and they have the control ward that still hadn't been killed to give them a general idea that Baron wasn't started. You just don't go in there with Elise Pyke, because you probably don't even have fatal damage if in a 2v2 with the support and the jungler of the behind team. They end up both dying and give over.
Being stressed to make the calls and make the plays can usually cause quite a bit of chaos that is hard to follow for any team. CLG is able to absorb it. They can see that Echo Fox is kind of having a bit of a turmoil here and figuring out a strategy to get away from this snowball that CLG has just continued to roll down the hill this game. 27 minutes. They're coming up 13 minutes quicker than their previous win if they can get a win quite quick.
And CLG looking to keep on rolling towards playoffs. If they win on this push, it's 11-5. Keeping in mind the hardest of their schedule is behind them. Very realistic that they could win this and the next 2 and end the season at 13-5, which would be a really impressive mark. Getting ahead of ourselves, though. We're setting up a 1-3-1. Going to try and get all 3 waves crashed at the same time and try and end this one.
It's going to be tough when every lane has something coming through. I'm interested to see how Echo Fox will split themselves, or if they go for broke, the bindings come out. Wiggily is hit by a bit of something, but he gets himself to safety. That's a shot onto MikeYeung. The health bars are dropping low before CLG really even gets into the base. PowerOfEvil working on the top turret himself, as a lot of the turrets are falling down. Just the Nexus turret stand now. MikeYeung getting almost taken down. That's 1 more shot. Nice repel to save himself, but another one from Stixxay could be it. Ruin's going to clean that one up with the janitorial duty onto the Elise. And now, with all inhibitors down, CLG is looking for the Nexus.
Looking pretty clean. Already got 1 down. Triple Infernal. Here they go.
Almost to the fountain. They're going to Cataclysm right on the doorstep of Echo Fox's base. Stixxay is on turret duty as the rest of the team is playing with their food once again as they go in for seconds, thirds, and even more. And third is the position that CLG would love to take coming up in the season. 11-5 is their record now. Logic Gaming takes down Echo Fox.
Gotta feel good for CLG. Coming in with a strong 2-0 week.
As we mentioned, we do have 2 teams currently holding the playoff buys in Team Liquid and Logic Gaming.